Hello, my name is Dan Dutrow, and I'm a volunteer with an organization called Camp Opportunity. We're dedicated to breaking the cycle of child abuse in Central Maryland and Baltimore. When I was 6 years old, my mom enrolled me in an 80s modern dance class where I learned what appears to be the shimmy, shake, and spin move, which was later reintroduced to the dance scene in my college days. My parents enrolled me in a lot of things. We did a lot of cultural kind of building activities. Went to camps, I was in sports and I did a lot of crafts. I'm sure you had a lot of cultural building activities and things that made you feel good, or else how did you end up in a place like this? I'm not an artist, but I did go to an art summer camp once. I remember my teacher telling me how well I drew a portrait of a cowboy boot. It was a silly little thing, but it made me feel special. What about the kids that don't have these silly little things, the fun times and the little things that make them feel special? What about the ones who have been abused in various ways? And next slide. What's worse is that these children who suffer these abuses are indoctrinated into a cycle of abuse where they potentially could continue to be victimized throughout their lives, and unfortunately, tragically, are more inclined to become abusers when they get older. This is not a problem happening in some far out lands. As a volunteer for Camp Opportunity, I pick up kids from the same streets you took to get here today. Man, these slides go slow. In 2012, there were 13,000 verified cases of child maltreatment in Maryland. 9,600 of them were neglect. 1,800 were sexual abuse, and the rest were physical abuse. Half boys and half girls. There's really no demographic where you can hide from child abuse. It's pervasive. Neglect is basically when a caregiver fails to care. It's an apartment where kids are left alone in a dark space while their parents are gone for hours. It's a row house when adults do drugs while the kids do whatever. Can you imagine spending a whole summer like that? Well, luckily these kids don't have to. These kids get to go to camp where they learn that they are special and they get people that do care about them and all the fun, special little things. Physical abuse is vicious and there's broad forms of it. Beyond the abuse, these kids suffer from post-traumatic stress disorder for their entire lives. Can you imagine as a kid having to deal with that your whole life? Sometimes kids show up to camp with burn marks, cigarette burns, hidden in their armpits and feet. But at camp, they get to be kids. They get to learn how to catch their own fish. Sexual abuse, extraordinarily loathsome and perverse. Little boys and girls raped, abused, exposed, penetrated. It's really pretty terrible. What's worse is these kids feel ashamed of the abuses having been done to them. But these kids get to feel proud about the little things that they get to build at camp. So resilience is defined as the ability to thrive, gain competence, and mature in the face of adverse circumstances and obstacles. It's an insurmountable problem. Well, it's not insurmountable. It's a big problem. Hopefully we can break it down with lots of little things. Camp Opportunity is a silly little thing machine. We get 30 kids from around Baltimore and Central Maryland and give them a chance to be kids for a week. Get them a chance to be special. Here's a little bit about our technique. We have great people. We have theme-based lessons. We have a whole lot of fun. We build relationships with the kid and their very own counselor over a period of years and build that relationship and have the kids kind of trust in one another again. Camp Opportunity serves 30 kids aged 7 to 11. I did the math. There is 3,300 children in Maryland who have needs like what we serve at camp. If we serve 3 more kids, that would be 1% of the problem. So it's time to do more, Baltimore. Come talk to me afterwards or visit our website at campopportunity.org and we can figure out how to break this cycle of abuse together. Thanks.